Prelude to Pacifica, 1934, May 9th. Following a surge in union membership, an emboldened International Longshore and Warehouse Union, represented by Communist Party member Harry Bridges, announces a strike with 3 demands. First, that all workers must be union members. Second, a coast-wide contract. Third, the creation of union hiring halls. Longshoremen and sailors in every West Coast port of the United States walk out in protest. In response, employers recruit strikebreakers, housing them on moored ships and walled compounds under police guard. Clashes between strikers and police begin, and will continue uninterrupted for months. May 12th. Gauntlet Day. Following intelligence leaked by an informant in the Waterfront Employers Association, nearly 1,000 longshoremen from Tacoma, Seattle, and Everett, Washington closed down the Seattle port, forcibly removing every strikebreaker from the waterfront. May 15th. Police in San Pedro, California deployed tear gas on a crowd of 500 strikers attempting to set fire to a ship housing strikebreakers. Unsuccessful, police from Los Angeles' Red Squad then fire into the crowd, killing 2 strikers and injuring dozens of others. The names of the killed strikers, Dick "Dickie" Parker and John Knudsen, become rallying cries in every port of the western United States. June 1st. Following the practice of wildcat teamsters supporting the strike by refusing to handle goods which had been unloaded by strikebreakers, a joint statement of solidarity with the strikers is pronounced by Seattle Teamsters President Dave Beck and San Francisco President Mike Casey. June 30th. Strikers attempting to access Seattle's Point Wells to investigate rumors of 2 oil tankers set to depart are fired upon by Standard Oil private guards. Shelby Daffron, shot in the back, joins the list of martyred workers whose names are chanted in protest by striking workers. Nearly 2,000 would attend his funeral. July 5th. Bloody Thursday. San Francisco police failed to force the reopening of the port, firing tear gas into a crowd at Rincon Hill, following up the tear gas assault with a mounted police charge. Strikers rebuffed the attack, throwing canisters and stones back at the police. Later that afternoon, 2 striking longshoremen, Nick Bordois and Howard Sperry, are shot and killed by San Francisco police after strikers successfully tip over a police vehicle. Dozens of others are wounded as police open fire onto the crowd with shotguns and revolvers, in what strikers describe as a police riot. A flower memorial created by strikers at the site was removed by police, only to be replaced shortly thereafter and placed under guard by the strikers. California Governor Frank Merriam refuses to activate the California Army National Guard, despite direct requests of the San Francisco mayor, Angelo Rossi. Hemorrhaging Republican support and challenged by his own party, he is replaced in the 1934 California election by the unlikely candidate Upton Sinclair, a socialist running as a Democrat. Washington Governor Clarence Martin refuses to call for the National Guard, following union threats of a general strike. Seattle Mayor Charles Smith personally leads a failed police attack on strikers and Teamsters at what will become known as the Battle of Smith Cove. Oregon Governor Julius Meyer asks President Roosevelt to deploy federal troops to break the strike, declaring, quote, "We are now in a state of armed hostilities." President Roosevelt does not respond. July 16th. Following Bloody Tuesday, a general strike is called. Lasting 14 days, involving hundreds of thousands of workers across every major city of the West Coast, the general strike begins to rival the ongoing textile worker strike of the East Coast in size. With state and federal military intervention nowhere to be found, and with public support growing, the successful coast-wide unionization is achieved by October 1st. The International Longshoremen's and Warehouse Union, despite thousands of injuries and hundreds of arrests, wins its union, with Harry Bridges hailed as a rising star and a leader within the West Coast labor movement. Federal inaction is not forgotten.